What up? It's your boy T-Bear and Reaction. Today is Music Money. So I came across this video from the one of my channels I react to. Docs by Dre. I forgot how I got to Docs by Dre as well too. I made a video reaction to one of them. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, we got another one. But there's always been a debate with music. It's always been a debate with what was the best era of anything. Like for a sports fan, especially basketball fan, which draft class was the best between the 1984 draft class, that had the likes of Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, John Stockton, and Al Robinson, and many others. Oh, and Hakeem Olajuwon, as well as the '96 draft class with the likes of Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Marcus Camby, Stephon Murray, and many others, as well as the 2003 draft that had the likes of LeBron, Melo, Wade, Bosh, and many others as well too. But there's always been a debate in music as well too, especially in hip hop. Which year had the best year in hip hop? There's two different eras. There's like four different eras. One just came out yesterday as well too. Which year was the best year in hip hop though? Was it the '88 or '89 around time when years after hip hop became popular in the '80s? Well, too, hip hop was starting a lot of individuality was starting to rise up in hip hop as well too. You had folks, the women in hip hop was ladies in hip hop was getting their just dues and recognition as well by that time, like for like the Salt-N-Pepa, Roxanne Santana, who've been out for a while. We finally think she around the time she finally got her first label deal as well too. Queen Latifah was getting her start, and many others. Everybody, while Run DMC was the kings of hip hop as well too. Many others who was following their flow was started to find their own voice in hip hop as well too. What is the Native Tongue crew with like so Jungle Brothers, and later on De La Soul and Chocolate Quest, as well as getting ears to the other side hip hop, other areas of hip hop besides the East Coast, New York area as well too, from like the West Coast with NWA, Ice-T, and many others, and the rising emerging hip hop scene of the South, whether it's from Texas with the likes of the Ghetto Boys, or Atlanta with the likes of Shy D and a few others as well too. So anyway. And then you have the '92 era, where it was like the rise of, while gangster rap was ruling. New York has said this time stop playing around. The East Coast said stop playing around. Let's get into some hardcore shit with the boom bap as well too. Boom bap sound as well too, with like Pete Rock, DJ Premier, their breakout year, the early stuff of like artists such as Nas and Wu-Tang Clan as well too, and '94 when guys like Nas and Wu-Tang Clan had to bring New York back to its roots as well too, to the hardcore, because while the boom bap was hip and wasn't strong enough, it was time for New York to take their title from the West Coast, who was dominating gangster rap, like the likes of Dre and Snoop and Ice Cube. So guys like Biggie Smalls, to Nas, Mobb Deep, Raekwon of Wu-Tang, and many others was helping bring the hip hop scene back to the East Coast as well too. So yeah, it was always a debate of which era was the best year in hip hop as well. So we're gonna start beginning with 1988 as well too, when, like I said, when hip hop was on the ride. Hip hop was finished their peak and now on the rise of individuality, breaking out in other areas of the East Coast as well too. The ladies came first as well too. So without further ado, we'll check out '88 best year in music. So it's stuff, and I think it's gonna be hip hop. So I've said best year in music, it's gonna be hip hop, because I guess they said it because that's the first video. So without further ado, let's check it out.
As a fan of hip hop, I've heard artists like Nas and Jay-Z mention '88 many times in their raps and how good of a year it was. I've never thought about it, but today I decided we're going to take a look into '88.
Oh, and not to mention, '88 was the first time rap got categorized got a category in the Grammys, despite them not televising the winner, was won by DJ Jeff Fresh Prince, who also found a individual sound as well too. But anyway, let's keep going.
Artists and the albums and see what made it such a great year. Every few years or so, the stars will align for hip-hop, and you'll get all the greats of an era put out albums in the same year. '88 was one of those years. We had Run DMC, NWA, Public Enemy, and a host of others put out an album that year. Slick Rick began to garner major attention back around 1984 when he, along with Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew, released The Show and Lottie Dottie. By the time '88 came around, Slick Rick was one of the hottest rappers in the game, and his debut album was highly anticipated. He did not disappoint when he released The Great Adventures
I was
of
wondering
Slick
like
Rick.
'88. I was like
The
88 or
album
9.
will feature hit songs like Mona Lisa, Hey Young World, and Teenage Love. But Slick Rick will hit it out the park with a grand slam when he released Children's Stories. It's considered one of the greatest storytelling songs of all time.
Yeah, 88. Yep, that was '88.
The album would go platinum and
late
cement
88.
Slick Rick as one of hip-hop's greatest storytellers. In '88, we were also introduced to EPMD.
Like I
They
said,
released their debut.
like I said, individuality. While other parts of it, and not just like all parts of the U.S., all parts of New York was getting their stance too, getting their voice heard too, as well too, such as Long Island guys from Long Island like EPMD and some Staten Island as well too.
Debut album Strictly Business that year, starting their string of gold albums. Strictly Business was pretty dope. It had Let the Funk Flow, which Nas fans may recognize with the Nostradamus beat. It also had You're a Customer,
Yes.
It's My Thing, and one of my favorite songs by them, You Gots to Chill. EPMD was going to be a major force in hip-hop throughout the 90s. They created the Def Squad and introduced us to artists such as Das EFX, Redman, and Keith Murray.
In case solo.
Big Daddy Kane is another artist that released his debut album in '88. He had garnered a buzz as part of the Juice Crew, but now it was his turn. Long Live the Kane would go gold off of the strength of songs like Just Rhyming with the Biz, Raw, Set It Off, and one of my favorite Kane songs, Ain't No Half Steppin'. Big Daddy Kane brought a smooth, laid-back player style to hip-hop, and he also had a lot of dope dance songs that he put on his albums. If you're not familiar with Big Daddy Kane, I definitely advise for you to go back and take a listen.
Shout out to Scooter's Rap.
'88 would also be the year that Public Enemy released their classic album, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. The album would go on to go platinum in the United States and gold in the UK. It's widely considered Public Enemy's best album and also one of the greatest albums in hip-hop history. In '88, we were also introduced to MC Lyte. She released her debut album, Light as a Rock, that year.
I forgot to mention MC Lyte when I talk about the ladies of hip hop though, for real, man. So yeah.
On her way to becoming the dominant female MC of the time. The album was powered by songs like Light as a Rock, Kicking for Brooklyn, 10% Diss, and Paper Thin. It did chart, reaching number 50 on the top R&B and hip-hop albums as well. In '88, Eric B. and Rakim released their sophomore album, Follow the Leader. What can I say? This is Rakim in his prime. You got songs like Lyrics of Fury, Put Your Hands Together, Follow the Leader, and one of my favorites, Microphone Fiend. The album went gold, and Eric B. and Rakim were going to be a force throughout the early 90s until their breakup. The Juice Crew was all in their bag in '88.
Yes.
And in '88, we were introduced to another member, Biz Markie. He released his debut album, Going Off. It included songs like Going Off, Nobody Beats the Biz, Something for the Radio, Pickin' Boogers, and his classic, The Vapors. The album reached number 19 on the top R&B and hip-hop albums and number 90 on the Billboard Top 200, setting Biz Markie up to be one of the best characters in hip-hop and one of his most memorable MCs. Juice Crew veteran MC Shan released his album Born to Be Wild that year. It was his chance to release his Get Back at Boogie Down Productions on Juice Crew Law, and it also had memorable songs such as Give Me My Freedom, So Deaf, and She's Gone. The Juice Crew solidified themselves as the dominant crew of the late 80s with the release of leader Marley Marl's In Control Volume 1. The album included songs like Dropping Signs by Craig G. Biggie fans will recognize that as the original beat for One More Chance. It also included We Write the Songs by Heavy D and Biz Markie. And my favorite, The Symphony. The classic where all the Juice Crew got on and laid down some of the dopest vocals. If you haven't heard it, I don't know what closet you've been in, but you definitely need to check it out. The Kings of Rock, Run DMC, were back in '88 with the release of their movie Tougher Than Leather that was accompanied by their album of the same name. Tougher Than Leather was a monster album. It was powered by songs like How'd You Do It, D, Mary Mary, Beats to the Rhyme, and Run's House. The album went on to go platinum in the US and gold in Canada, and also charting internationally in many countries. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were back with their sophomore album, He's the DJ and I'm the Rapper. The album was powered by songs like Here We Go Again, A Nightmare on My Street, Brand New Funk, and one of my favorites and a classic, Parents Just Don't Understand. They hit it out the park with this album. It went 3 times platinum in the US and platinum in Canada, and also charting in a number of countries. Salt-N-Pepa also returned in '88 with their sophomore album, Assault with the Deadly Pepper. The album was powered by songs like Twist and Shout, Let the Rhythm Run, Shake Your Thing, and my favorite song by them, Everybody Get Up. The album was a huge success, going gold in both the US and Canada, and also cementing Salt-N-Pepa as the premier female group in hip-hop. In 1988, Kid and Play released their debut album, Too Hype. The album included songs like Getting Funky, Do This My Way, Last Night, Undercover, and my favorite song by them, Rollin' with Kid and Play. The album would go on to go platinum.
My top favorite out there doing Still Getting Funky.
Play would be huge stars in both movies and music. Up until this point, hip-hop was mostly dominated by the New York rappers. But now the West Coast finally got a chance to chime in. Eazy-E's Ruthless Records held no punches in '88. They released some monster albums and some classic songs. Ruthless Records would change the world forever when groundbreaking group NWA released their debut album, Straight Outta Compton. The album included Straight Outta Compton, Gangsta Gangsta, Dope Man, and so on and so on. You can basically just let it ride from start to finish.
For real, you can.
The album went 3 times platinum in the US, platinum in the UK, and changed music forever.
It did.
Ruthless also released JJ Fad. Their album Supersonic,
I follow them heavy on Facebook,
included the smash hit Supersonic that would go on to go gold, and in the future it would be sampled by Fergie on her hit song Fergalicious. Next up, they released Eazy-E's debut album, Easy Does It. The album included songs like Nobody Move, Two Hard Mothers, Radio, and one of my favorites, Boys in the Hood. The album went 2 times platinum and would begin to shift in hip-hop. Ruthless Records weren't the only artists from the West Coast dropping classic music in '88. We also got Ice-T. He released his classic album, Power. The album included songs such as Drama, The Syndicate, I'm Your Pusher Man, and one of my favorite songs by Ice-T, High Rollers. The album went platinum in the US and gold in Australia and Canada. In 1988, MC Hammer made his major label debut with his album, Let's Get It Started. The album was powered by songs like Pump It Up, Turn This Mother Out, and my favorite song by MC Hammer, Let's Get It Started. It went on to go 2 times platinum in the US and gold in Japan. It set up MC Hammer to become hip-hop's first megastar. Let's get it started with MC Hammer at his best. Take a listen and you'll understand why he became hip-hop's first megastar, and also why so many artists at the time hated him. In '88, Too Short released this album, Life Is Too Short. The album included songs like Nobody Does It Better, I Ain't Trippin', Don't Fight the Feeling, and one of my favorite Too Short songs, Life Is Too Short. It went on to go 2 times platinum. Too Short will go on to be one of our resident MCs and still releases albums today. We also got great music from other West Coast acts such as Sir Mix-a-Lot. He released Posse on Broadway. Rodney O and Joe Cooley had Everlasting Bass. King T released his classic album Act a Fool in '88. It was powered by singles Act a Fool, Payback's a Mother, The Coolest, and Bass. King T was going to be a force behind the scenes in hip-hop during the 90s. He helped introduce us to acts such as the Liquid Crew, which would produce artists such as the Alcoholics and Exhibit. The case for best year in hip-hop is strong for '88. It has all the ingredients: classic artists, classic songs, and music that changed the world. I'm gonna do more videos on the best years in hip-hop, and in the future, we're gonna take those and make a comparison, and hopefully we can come up with the best year in hip-hop.
Cool.
Once again, I think
this was a cool video, though. Like I said, also to mention is that the Ghetto Boys made their official debut albums, Making Trouble, although it wasn't the original members of it, though. So they probably won't get mentioned in the '89 one when they came out with the gripping on the second album, where it featured the well-known members as well too. But other than that, this was cool to look at as well too. Like I'm saying, like I said, a lot of great albums that came out '88 as well too, in hip hop as well too. Next one I'm gonna do, since it's '89 is one day I was gonna do '92, but since '89 is there, I might either do that later. If I got a little time, I might do that today, or better do it tomorrow. Possibly not tomorrow, probably next week. But other than that, or if I got time as an extra, I'll do that as well too. But other than that, Do you think '88 was a better year, or do you think the other years I mentioned as well too, or any years outside that was a better year? Other than that, it's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.